There are a lot of units in Dragon Ball Legends, and today I'm going to be going over my top 10 favorite units in Dragon Ball Legends. This can be my favorite units to play as, or just my favorite units in general. This could mean a lot of things. These are my top 10. The reason why I'm making this video is because you guys can't hate on me on this, okay? You guys can't. This is my opinion, not yours, so shut the hell up and hear me out, okay? Just hear me out. In the 10th spot, I got this Legends Limited Transforming Broly. This Broly was so fun on release because his blue card did a lot of damage and had the weaker lock-in ability. This dude did tons of damage. This is on release, by the way. This dude did tons of damage. Tanking was pretty bad. Healing was good. Abilities was good, you know. He had the lock-in abilities like Ultra UI has, but a bit different. His transformation gives him Vanish back. Bunch of damage buffs. He gets Vanish back when he kills an opponent and damage buffs. So, you know, that's always very, very, very useful. He also does damage with his lock-in ability that used to do a pretty good amount of damage. His animations are godly sent like Pan. Oh my god, it's below me. Like, that was pretty insane. And this dude's blue card would 95% of the time one-shot people. This was on release. This guy released a few months ago, but he was definitely a super fun unit. And I loved using this guy. Let's put it in the number 9 spot. In the 9th spot, I got Legends Limited Super Baby 2. This unit is pretty much a better version of Legends Limited Transforming Rose. And this dude is so fun. His gauge is way better. It locks a bunch of things you have, reduces your key, cards, arts cost up, and gives you no vanish. I mean, reducing your vanish on a gauge is insane. He did so many crits. Every card he did was a crit. He was basically never not type advantage. He was always type advantage, basically. That's how insane this dude was. His green card is a counter, basically. So if you do a strike, he is like, I'm gonna bust, and he just absorb your hit, knock you back, get a free combo, bunch of cards, cover null, neutral, all that good stuff. His blue card didn't have anything crazy, except for it was just a long range blue card, but it did give you that like random question mark ability thing. I forgot what it's called. Let me know in the comments what it's called. I forgot. And that thing was super annoying to deal with. That made that unit so fun. Plus, when his gauge is full, when you use his ultimate, you lock in. That made him super valuable. If this dude gets a platinum equipment, gets endurance and buff cancellation, bro, Super Baby 2 would be so broken. Like, godly sent. That's how broken. In 8th place, I have even one of my favorite forms in Dragon Ball, and that is Legends Limited MUI Goku. I know a lot of people hate on this unit because he was pretty annoying, but he was a very fun unit to me. The fact that you could just stand there and do damage to your opponent for not playing the game, or you can just sit there and they play the game and they get damaged for it, was so incredible. This dude had a universal cover change, meaning he can cover change both strike and blast, which is always beautiful. Blue card hit pretty strong, cannot lose strike clashes, which was huge for me because I suck at those. Green card drawn to strike and ultimate damage up, 3 of them, you get like 75% up. Then his ultimate's basically just one-shotting you, bro. Like, Pan, I need you right now, bro. Like, this dude was awesome. Damage was good. Tanking kind of disappointed me at the time, but over time it got worse, of course. You know, this dude's animations were absolutely beautiful. I mean, I cannot tell you what unit has better animations than this dude. Just kidding, I say a lot. Let's go to 7th place. I love MUI Goku though. Like, literally, other unit. Let's go to 7. In 7th place, I have me when I see Pan. And that is the I'm Gonna Bust Cell. AKA Legend Limited newer perfect form Cell. This dude is awesome. Gauge gives Vanish back, cards, cover null, great gauge. Damage, very good. Tanking, pretty mid. Blue card had a chance to faint and did great damage. When he dies, he goes, I'm bout to bust. I mean, this dude was awesome. I mean, the damage on his I'm a bust thing was pretty mid, not gonna lie. It didn't impress me that much, but it definitely was a cool thing, not gonna lie. You know, his LFs being one of the worst in the game, but also being one of my favorite LFs. Because it was so short, it was so simple. I don't know why I liked it, but I liked it because of those reasons. I mean, short, simple, they just go together. And no one understood at the time, but they just go together. Okay, let's move to 6th place. Almost at top 5. It's when it gets very controversial, okay? Let's go. In 6th place, right outside the top 5, is Legends Limited Super Saiyan God Goku. Yes, this unit is not good. Now he is good with his platinum equipment. He's a very solid unit. But on release, this dude was very disappointing. But he's a very fun unit. Has an AoE green because, you know, who doesn't love AoE greens, guys? Anyways, this dude's damage was pretty good. It wasn't the best, but it was good. Tanking was nowhere to be found at all. You know, it was terrible. Has endurance, but does not cancel buffs, so the endurance was nullified 90% of the time. You know, gets vanish back very easily. I think like 60 or 70% on green card, 10% on landing and pressing on the card. Like, he gave vanish back a lot, and I mean a lot. Ultimate hitting very hard. That's the one thing this dude always had. He always had a hard hitting ultimate. That's what this dude always had. Okay, like, this unit's super fun. Even though he wasn't good on release, he was never on my main team or any of my teams at all, now that I think about it. But he was still a very fun unit, and I do think that with his platinum equipment, now that he cancels buffs and does great damage and tanks pretty well, his gauge and all that, it does pretty good, not gonna lie. Now we're going into the top 5, and in 5th place, I have, you know, this long ass name, but it's Goku and Vegeta that fuse into Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta. This unit is so fun. The destruction on your opponent's green cards on your own green card is the nuttiness that you always needed. Animations are beautiful. Damage was great. Disruption was good. You know, reduced ki by 70. You know, pretty awesome. Tanking was pretty good. Damage after you filled up the gauge and reset the gauge with the card, that did insane amount of damage. This unit was honestly just so cool. I mean, it was, I'm about to, oh yeah, that's how awesome it was. Now, after fusion, you know, when you do the fusion animation, that thing is beautiful. They fusion touch tips, oh, and it's like they bust everywhere, bro. And I honestly busted when these guys released, because it was beautiful. They get the assault chain, which is a brand new mechanic. Well, it's not new anymore, but it was pretty cool how the blast cover change with the assault chain nullifies counters, cover changes, all kinds of things like that. It is beautiful. Sadly, it wasn't the most broken thing in the world, but I'm happy it wasn't, because, you know, that would have made this unit super annoying to face. Gets vanish back on main ability. Blue card hits like a rock. LF, one of the most beautiful LFs I've ever seen. Not as good as Vegeto's in my opinion, but still very good LF. They made it more anime accurate. Like, if you were to go to the Broly movie and watch this LF, if you time it correctly, you could see a pretty close resemblance. I mean, they did very good. Like, this unit is the buster of busters, okay? Let's be honest here. Next unit, time to go top 4. I believe we all agree that it is time to release the first Ultra on my tier list. In top 4, we have Ultra Turles. This unit may seem boring, but I love this unit so much. Gets advantage back on main ability. Animations are kind of mid, you know, his green card animation is boring, release animation is kind of boring, but it is kind of beautiful. His ultimate and blue card do look very good. You know, you can destroy Dragon Balls 10% on Blast and Strike, which is always super annoying. Blue card, you can go type neutral with his gauge, and his gauge fills up super fast, so, you know, it's pretty easy to get it, not gonna lie. I mean, this dude did great damage, you know, tanks extremely well, gauge reducing your ki, gets tons of greens for no reason. I don't know why, but he gets tons of greens, like, Pan, I'm ready for you, bro. This dude's comeback is insane. I think he reduces your ki, increased arts cost, and reduces your vanish, which is pretty huge. Basically like a Super Baby 2's gauge, but like a revival, which is even more broken. He gets ultimate damage up with that, and he goes, not really, I don't know how to explain it, but this dude does so much damage with his ultimate, it's like he's neutral when he's not. I don't know how that is, but that's just how it is. He gets vanish back on main ability, like I said. His gauge refills extremely fast, so, you know, if you're worried about being type disadvantaged, don't worry about it. I mean, this dude will always reduce your ki. He will always tank. The more you hit him, the more tanky he gets, and the less damage you do. I mean, how do they even think about that? I mean, that's just insane. Let's go to top 3. This is where it gets huge, and very hard for me to decide because I love all 3 of these units. Let's go. In 3rd place is another Ultra on this list, which was my favorite unit in the game for a very long time. In 3rd place, I have Ultra Super Saiyan Rose Goku Black. I love this unit. The fact that you get like, what, 3 ultimates is just stupid to me. Blue card gives you paralyzation, which means you basically can't play the game if he hits you with it. Green card destroys 2 of your cards, gets a strike and a blue. Gauge can fill up, you know, fairly easily. Takes a bit of time, but fairly easily. Did great damage, tanked fairly well. Ultimate hits very hard. I mean, Pan, it's like this hook, like that. Like, that's how insane this dude was. And if you're actually an OG on my channel, you would know that this dude was my profile picture on my channel for, you know, the start of it, until I changed it to what you see now. back in the day, it was Goku Black. This Ultra Goku Black was the profile picture on my channel for a pretty solid amount of time. It is no longer that, because the next two units I'm going to mention are, in my opinion, I like more. Okay, let's go to the top two. These are super hard to decide, but it's just how it is. Coming up in second place is Super Saiyan 3 Legends Limited Gotenks. I love this unit so much. The Vanish recovery is insane. His gauge is super easy to fill up. Green card, broken draw, and a card gets Covenal when the gauge is full. Gets Vanished back super quickly with the green. You know, the strikes do great damage. Blasts do great damage. When you fill up the gauge, you get a permanent damage buff, which helps you so much. Animations are beautiful. If you do not get the LF with your ultimate, there's a big chance of fainting. Same thing with the blue. And we all know faint is the worst effect in this game, which we did is so fun to land on. I mean, guys, let's be honest. If I landed the faint effect on Pan, bro, I don't even want to talk about what I'm going to do, bro. Like, it's insane. This dude's ultimate hits very hard. Blue card always goes neutral. Very hard unless you cancel his buff, which is pretty much every unit in the game now, which kind of sucks. But hey, who cares nowadays, am I right? Very fun unit. This dude was on my main team for like a few weeks, and I don't think I've ever enjoyed a unit as much as I enjoyed this unit. But there is one unit in first place, which after thinking about it is by far my favorite unit in the game. And comment below right now if you guessed this unit. I bet you didn't. Let's see if you guessed it. Let's go. And finally, in first place, my favorite unit in Dragon Ball Legends is Legends Limited Goku from the Turles movie, aka the Turtle Man. This unit is so cool. Blast cover change always comes in handy. Vanish recovery on blue 3 times, then gets another blue when your gauge has filled at least once. That is always super fun to use. When a ally dies, use his ultimate, you get Vanish back and another ultimate. I mean, that's always great to see. Damage was pretty great. Blast and strike. I know all that was beautiful. Green card gives him Covenal. 2 cards inflicts major bleeding. And everyone knows how many green cards this dude spawns for no reason. How many people hate his green card. And more importantly, how many people like me love his green card. This dude's insane. Now, he was not very tanky. But what Dragon Ball Legends did to make up for that is they made his gauge pretty broken, destroying cards, reducing keys, locking some abilities. They made him very like squishy, but they made his unique gauge work up for that. I mean, it is incredible. This dude is on like 3 of my teams, and he is so fun to use. My friends hate him. Yeah, I have no friends besides Pan. I have a picture of Pan on my wall that I nut to every day. But besides that, okay guys, those are my top 10. In a few days, possibly tomorrow, I will upload a video on my top 10 least favorite units in Dragon Ball Legends. If you made it this far, subscribe, drop a like. I will see you guys in the next video. Later, poppies.